would argue, if he just stands up there, Phil Jones, it probably hits him, but he decides to go to ground. But in terms of where, Carlos Tevez is, he is blocked. There is no doubt. De Gea's leaning.
By blocking, you mean blocking the eye line of the goalkeeper?
Yeah, he's blocked by the eye line of the goalkeeper. Technically, it's offside. There is no doubt about that. However, these are ones, none of the Manchester United players complain about the decision. In terms of actually Phil Jones, he's also blocking De Gea as well. If you take it on and see it, the deflection kills David De Gea. There's no chance. He sees it too late. And you'll see it at a different angle and slower angle. You just see it here now. There's so many bodies in front of De Gea. I think it's Jones and Carrick who are blocking him initially. And then Tevez in the end, that's what I think makes him see it late. But in some ways, it's a good strike, and that's when you're hitting them like that for James, you've got to hit them low.
It's such a difficult decision to give, isn't it, this one? Because the referee's assistants, first you've got to give it offside, and then it's up to the referee to see whether he's obstructing the line of the goalkeeper's vision.
I think these are difficult ones for the referees and linesmen to give, particularly when no one's complaining, no one's making them aware of anything. In terms of, you can see all the bodies there. It's Carrick and Phil Jones who are flying out.
There's the referee's view.
There's the referee. He's not seeing it. Well, he can't even see Carlos Tevez. You look at them there. He's a real Ferdinand's blocking him, and you see it from there. Now you've got David De Gea's position. Just take that back a little touch there. Sorry. So to the point where David De Gea's position, just stop it there. If you can see now, there's Jones, there's Carrick, there's Tevez. I mean, Tevez is stood right in front of him. There isn't any doubts about that. You push it on and you see there. Now it comes back into play. And technically it is an offside, but I think that's a difficult one.
So in summary, technically offside, but a really, really difficult one.
It is a difficult one to give. I mean, the linesman would have to give it, and then the referee would have to determine that he was in front of him. And I think there's a lot got to go right for a referee and linesman to give that, particularly when there's been no deflection off Tevez.
No goal for Van Persie again tonight. How good, though, was his delivery for the equaliser?
Well, I think him being on the ball gets him the goal, because I'm going to just take it forward just a touch here, and you can just see, I'm just going to take that back a touch. You just watch Joe Hart's feet. Just going to highlight Joe Hart there in the goal. Just watch his feet move towards his near post. Just take it forward slowly. Just see him there creeping. He's thinking that Robin Van Persie is going to whip it into his near post, and he overcovers his near post here, Joe Hart. You just see him, it's a magnificent delivery. You just see him creeping there even more, Joe Hart, to set himself, thinking that Robin Van Persie is going to shoot. And in the end, he ends up trying to save it as a shot. I mean, he could be really hypercritical of company, but with that type of delivery, you've absolutely no chance as a defender. You just see there now, he's so near. It's a real difficult position for goalkeepers and defenders, the wicked delivery. And United are back in the game at that point.
Phil Jones gets lucky, doesn't he, really?
Oh, he does get lucky. I mean, to be fair, it's his shoulder. In some ways, you would be talking about a terrible miss.
He's missing over here.
Going off the back of the company. But he gets that little bit of fortune. I actually thought he was United's best player. I thought he was outstanding throughout.
Defensively?
Phil Jones, yeah, defensively.
And then, at 1-1. At 1-1, what were you thinking? Were you thinking United were more likely to go on and win it?
United had the strongest period at 1-1. United, at that point, because City went two up top with Aguero and Tevez, they had less strength in midfield, and United started to look like they were going to get some positions. They were looking like they were pressing a little bit, but then they got done. They got done on the counter attack. And if you look at, I say, counter attack by a goal that can be only described as fantastic. I mean, the ball's over here on this side initially, and we picked it up really loose here to try and track Aguero's movement. There's three of them in there, just in this position here. Silva, Tevez, Aguero. There's no problems at this point. Yaya Touré's on the ball. And here he is in there. He's in there. There's the goal scorer, Sergio Aguero. And there's a good bit of play here. Silva out to Clichy. And what he does here, Sergio Aguero, he drops in and he pulls Raphael out. And this is what I would call classic Manchester City and how they play. Pulling people out. The wide players will be the full-backs. It won't be wide players. And he draws in Raphael there, and then there's a little switch. If you just watch Clichy's run, just there now, Clichy's run just takes Raphael back into his position. And all of a sudden, Danny Welbeck there, he's just got to get back in that little bit quicker, but it's difficult. This is good movement. And Yaya Touré finds Sergio Aguero. Just there now, it's a really good pass. At this point, you're thinking, right, what's he going to do?
Well, still doesn't look that dangerous, does it?
No. I think there you'd have to say that it's not under control because he's got a position to shoot. But you think with Rio Ferdinand there, with Phil Jones there, what I would say is, I think Patrice Evra has got to get back in here. He's got to get back into that position. Because if you see this developed, I mean, it's fantastic play. We'll do it from the United perspective to start with. He runs across the line. And just there now, if Patrice Evra just gets back in there, that gap closes down. It means that Phil Jones is not... Phil Jones at that point is blocking the shot. He's thinking Aguero's going to pull the trigger. He doesn't do... He takes that extra little touch, which is a great touch. And the strength and the low centre of gravity.
The balance he has to show.
Well, Danny Welbeck can't tackle him. You cannot tackle him here, Danny Welbeck. There's no way Phil Jones or Danny Welbeck can tackle him. It's that touch there. Just take it back. Just the one there with the front of his foot. Just there. That little fake to shoot. And then now it's all about strength and the balance, as you say. And the finish is absolutely magnificent. I mean, people say keepers shouldn't get beaten in the near post. There is no goalkeeper in the world who can save that.
Whilst falling over almost as well.
Well, I mean, he talks about him being a brilliant player as well. We haven't seen the best of him this season, but the power, the strength, everything's good about that goal.
It's been flashes from him, hasn't it, all season?
It has, and that's why City are where they are. You can talk about them not having him, or not having Van Persie, or not having whoever. He's only scored 10 goals in the league. That's got to be an underachievement, no matter how many games he's played.
OK, a great goal to win the Manchester derby tonight. The fans drifting away from Old Trafford, the home fans party delayed. The earliest they can win it now, if results go their way as well, Villa in 2 weeks' time. It's the City fans celebrating in Manchester tonight. On the way next, we will continue to